What's up, boss? You believe that?
Of all the
hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh?
Who said I didn't believe before?
No. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all
What did
that.
I write?
Yeah.
What did I write?
Oh no. Come
Can
on.
I ask my question?
Do you believe?
In what?
You don't believe.
I believe.
You just answered it. You don't believe. Next question.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about some college football. I'm not sure about you guys, but I did spend most of my day yesterday watching college football. I was excited about the UNC versus USC game, right? The battle of the Carolinas. UNC, Tar Heels, ended up pulling it out in that game. I'm hoping that UNC can field a good football team this year because I actually am in the mood to watch a lot of football this year. I want to watch a lot of football on Saturdays and Sundays, right, to take my mind off politics. However, it's hard, okay? It's difficult in 2023 to sit down and watch sports without having to endure some type of politics. And this brings me to this story that I want to talk about today, which is about the Colorado TCU game that was an absolute stunner, okay? I watched that game before I watched the UNC game. Deion Sanders led Colorado versus TCU, who was in the national championship last year. Colorado was like a 20-point underdog, and they ended up winning this game behind the leadership of Deion Sanders and the great play of his son and also some other individuals on that team that, again, just stunned all of college football. Right. But again, you can't have a good college football game, right, without having to, again, play up politics and race. OK, because you got people like Jemele Hill, who's a professional race hustler, coming out and saying that there was a lot of coded stuff around the commentary of the game. Now, I'm not sure exactly what Jemele Hill means by coded stuff, but knowing Jemele Hill, who always sees race and everything, she probably means that there was some type of racism or racialized commentary around this Colorado TCU game. Now, I want to read about it and get into it so you guys understand what's going on here. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, quite honestly, this type of stuff is so unnecessary. And again, this is the reason why we continue to have this race conversation in this country, because you have some people that just can't seem to let race go, right? They just can't seem to let it go. So without further ado, let's read here. Colorado upset TCU in one of the first college football games of the season, Saturday, 45-42. The thrilling matchup featured 4 touchdown passes from Shedeur Sanders, including a 46-yard go-ahead score from the quarterback to Dylan Edwards with 4:25 to go. It was the first win in the Deion Sanders era for the Buffaloes. As social media praised Coach Prime's performance, columnist Jemele Hill directed her criticism toward the, quote, commentary around the game. Quote, really interesting listening to some of the commentary around this Colorado TCU game. A lot of coded stuff, Hill wrote in a vague post on X, formerly known as Twitter. It wasn't clear what Hill was referring to in the post. However, Hill's followers pointed out the criticism levied at Deion Sanders as he came to Colorado from Jackson State. Sanders' coaching style and the way he used the transfer portal were among the criticisms he faced before the first game. Others groaned that the idea that Hill appeared to try to turn the game into a commentary on race. The Athletic writer had previously called Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley racist because she didn't want Vice President Kamala Harris to be president. She also pointed out the racism in reaction to the Carly Russell kidnapping hoax and claimed black people can, quote, carry water for white supremacy in regard to the police beating of Tyree Nichols. Yeah, so again, just a full-blown race hustler here, okay, talking about there are a lot of coded stuff. Again, I'm not sure exactly what she means. Okay, I didn't see or hear anything racial during the game. She responded to this tweet right here. Gus Johnson just removed the dog whistle filter on live television. Glad he did. Sure did. I knew my brother from Detroit was going to hold it down. Again, I'm not sure exactly what Jemele Hill here is talking about, right? I watched the whole game, and I didn't hear anything that had to do with race. There was no racialized commentary. But again, in these people's heads, they have invented racism, right? They've invented racism. Now, I want to go ahead and actually comment on somebody else who brought race into this, and that is Deion Sanders himself, who after the game basically tried to say that some of the criticism of him as a coach has to do with the fact that he is a black man, and seeing a black man be successful is apparently scary to some people. I want to go ahead and play this clip. Take a look.
What do you say to people that question the transfer portal, get rid of all the kids, tell them can you do it? You know, turn on the film. I tell them to turn on the film. We're gonna continuously be questioned because we do things that have never been done. That's the way our life has presented themselves. We do things that have never been done, and that makes people uncomfortable. When you see a confident black man sitting up here talking his talk, walking his walk, coaching 75% African Americans in the locker room, that's kind of threatening. Oh, they don't like that. But guess what? We're going to consistently do what we do because I'm here and ain't going nowhere. And I'm about to get comfortable in a minute. Because guess what? These young men in there right now, they believe. Not all of them believed before. But right now, they came up one by one, twos by twos. Coach, we believe. Now they believe. Now Boulder believes.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, here's all I want to say before I get into this, okay? When all the pro-black race hustlers were upset with Deion Sanders for leaving an HBCU, right, that would never, ever, ever win a national title, I defended Deion. I said, look, just because he's black, that doesn't mean that he has to be stuck at a school in which he's not going to be able to achieve what he could achieve if he went to a school with more resources, right? So I defended Deion Sanders going to Colorado in his decision. I like Deion Sanders as a person. I like the fact that he is a role model when it comes to how to be a good father. Look at what he's done for his sons. Okay, I like the fact that he's unapologetically Christian. I like the fact that he clearly is an excellent leader of men. Okay, he seems to be a coach that instills a lot of discipline and demands a lot of respect. I would love to play for him, right? Just listen to the guy talk. I'm like, I want to suit up and play for Deion Sanders. Okay? I love Deion Sanders. Now, some people might not like the fact that he's cocky, and I think that that's some legitimate criticism because once you start losing, again, that cockiness will definitely come back to bite you in the butt. And I think that personally, this win versus TCU, at the very least, proves that, hey, a lot of people got it wrong about him. A lot of people were wrong when they said that Deion Sanders and the way that he coaches would not translate into a Power 5 conference, right? He was right when a lot of people criticized him for how he used the transfer portal in order to get the players that he wanted, right? And as of right now, again, it seems like he's proved those doubters wrong. As of right now, it's just one game. We really don't know. They can go on to lose, right, the rest of the games of the season. We don't know. But one thing I will say is that a moment like that is cheapened when somebody like Deion Sanders uses the race card to try to allude to this idea that people are criticizing him because he's a black man and that the criticism of him is because he's black. No, the criticism of you is not because you're black. The criticism of you is because of all those things I just outlined. Yes, you're doing things in a way that's not traditional. You're doing things in a way that's unorthodox. You're going to get criticism for that, right? If Deion Sanders was white and doing things the way that he's doing them, he would get criticism, right? Any coach that makes the jump from a school that he made a jump from to a Power 5 conference, they're going to be doubted, right? There are a lot of people that are going to say, nah, I don't think that this is going to translate. Had nothing to do with the fact that you're black. So when you come up here and you now try to say that, well, being a black man, it scares people, or it makes people terrified because you're black and successful, it's, to me, again, you're cheapening the moment and the takeaway, the actual takeaway from this, which should have nothing to do with race. The takeaway should be that, hey, if you work hard, that there's a way that you can do things as a coach and still be successful at this level. Has nothing to do with your skin color. Has everything to do with the intangibles that you bring to the table as a leader of men, as a coach, as a motivator. And I don't want to see that taken away from Deion Sanders because he wants to throw in race. When I was watching that game yesterday, the last thing that came to my mind was race. I didn't see any white or black people. All I saw is two teams going against each other and let the best man win, right? I saw players that were out there putting everything on the line in order to win. What I saw is a meritocracy. And that's what I want to see when I'm watching sports. What I don't want to see and what I don't want to hear is about the race of the players, the race of the coach. I don't care if most of the players are black. I don't care if, Deion Sanders happens to be one of the only black head coaches. I don't care. I don't care. All I care about is the best man winning. All I care about is the best coach getting the job. All I care about is seeing the best football game that I can see, regardless of the race of the players on the field, regardless of the race of the coaches on the sideline. I don't care about that. And nobody is threatened by Deion Sanders being a black man and being successful. Nobody's threatened by your skin color. But if that's something that people have to make up in their heads, right, in order to succeed, maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe this imaginary racial chip on people's shoulders, maybe that's what makes them go, right? If that's what helps you win, I guess it is what it is. But I really do feel like it's unnecessary. I feel like race hustlers like Jemele Hill, her job is to make up fake racial narratives. Deion Sanders, as a leader of men, because that's what you are first and foremost, you're a leader of men, your job is not to make up fake narratives. You don't need that. You don't need fake racial narratives in order to lead men. Nobody cares that you're black. Nobody cares that most of your college football team is black because, look, most of these college football players are black at any school you go to, really. Nobody cares. A lot of people just love sitting down and watching that game and seeing an underdog prove a whole lot of people wrong. That's what I loved about it. What I loved about it is seeing a father demonstrate how to carry himself as a man and how to be a role model for young men. That's what I love seeing. Right? The race of Deion Sanders had nothing. That didn't even cross my mind. So again, I'm not sure exactly what Jemele Hill is talking about. We said there's a lot of coded stuff going on here. If there was a lot of coded stuff, it definitely came from the people that are still salty that Deion Sanders left an HBCU to go to what they call a PWI, right? That's probably where a lot of the coded stuff was coming from. Other than that, I don't think that there was any coded stuff. I think most of America watched that game and what they saw was not a black versus white head coach or the color of the skin of any of the players on the team or, there been a black or white quarter. They didn't see any of that. What they saw was just young men battling out to see who's the best team. And that's it. And I just wish that in sports, we could just leave sports like that. It's a meritocracy. That's it. Race ain't got nothing to do with politics. Ain't got none of that. Just sports. Just the best man. Right? That's it. That's all I want to see. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.